name is Greg Polly. I'm the CEO of the Sicilian Bank, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here to this great occasion today. We're here to celebrate a 15-year history. We're here to recognize that United Way is just getting along famously after 15 years, United Way of Central Kentucky. So I thought, well, let's think about some famous 15s, okay? I have an easy one for me. When I was growing up, my favorite baseball player wore number 15 in the major leagues. He played left field for the Cincinnati Reds. Anybody know who that is? Anybody got a guess? Yeah, see, John knows how old I am, so yeah, he's saying George Foster, right? Yeah, George Foster. He was my favorite baseball player back in the day, so he was a famous 15 to me. There's other famous 15s. For example, there was a quarterback way back in the day, played for the Green Bay Packers. Anybody want to take a guess at that one, who that might be? Bart Starr, very good. Happy anniversary, very good. All right. 15th President of the United States. Their presidents are sort of famous. Anybody want to guess who that might have been?
The one before Lincoln?
Yes. She's right. Happy anniversary. Yeah, it's the one before Lincoln. James Buchanan was the 15th president, and I don't know what he was famous for other than a month after he went out of office, Civil War broke out. So I'm not sure. Today we just blame that on the prior administration. So yeah, so he was famous. Let's see. Anybody know what the 15th wedding anniversary traditional gift is? Anybody know that? Okay, that's a tough one. Yeah. That doesn't sound right. I'm sure if Patrick Clark would here, he'd get both these right. But crystal is the traditional gift, 15 years, and the modern day is a watch. So I have neither to present to you today, but anyway. Well, like some of you, I was involved with United Way more than 15 years ago. I was there for the start of the United Way of Central Kentucky. I liked the original mission. You all remember the original mission. It closely aligned with just the concept of charity, right? You go out and you raise as much money as you can, and you give it to people who need it. And you know that was rewarding. It was satisfying, and I liked that mission. As we went along, you know, it was a simple way to do things, but as we went along, we found out that maybe that's not the best way of doing it. So now the mission is more about education, financial stability, and health. And so we transitioned to that, even though some of us maybe resisted that for a little bit, but now we understand that that is better. It seems to me like the old mission was about, you know, keeping people in their point of weakness, really. It was giving to them, but not truly helping. And now the mission is more of putting people in a position of strength. And so that's sort of my theme today, is a position of strength. I first got involved with United Way back when Bill Osborne, y'all remember Bill Osborne, he gave me a call and said that Big Brother, Big Sister needed a board member. And so if Bill Osborne called me, I was going to say yes. So I went ahead and jumped on the Big Brother, Big Sister board. And then later, that did transition to being on the board of United Way. But serving on the board for Big Brother, Big Sister gave me insight into something that has changed my life forever. My wife and I, we had difficulty having a child. And so we were considering adopting a child instead of having it the normal way. I struggled with that decision. It was hard for me to, I suppose, give up on having the child the traditional way. But when I witnessed the stories of how children needed a mentor in their life with Big Brother, Big Sisters, it put me in a position of strength. it helped me make a good decision. And Susan and I, we did end up adopting our first son. So, a lesson that I learned for life came from United Way. So, I think it was certainly the answer to my calling and my prayers. It improved, well, that's what I love about United Way, though. It does improve the life of the person that is in need. It improves the life of the donor. It improves the life of the community that we're in. And it puts our community in a position of strength. So again, a position of strength. But I'm just one person with one positive story about United Way, and there are countless other success stories over the years. So as Katie gets a video ready for us, I will say that after 15 years, United Way of Central Kentucky continues to prove that it is the single most success story of our community. We are all here to celebrate that United Way of Central Kentucky is in a position of strength.
Thank you for letting me talk with you today. I want to tell you about something my family and I believe in, and we believe in United Way.
We here at Dow Corning feel very positive about the United Way. It allows us to contribute to those who are less fortunate than we are, and it also gives me the opportunity to see results right away.
Central Kentucky. Really an honor to be back, and I can't tell you how proud I am of this organization and the community that supports it. For close to 5 years, I've worked with the United Way of Central Kentucky and the surrounding communities, and it was some of the hardest work I've ever been a part of, but also the very best. So on behalf of all the people, all the women, all the children, all the families in
President and CEO of United Way of Central Kentucky. I'm proud that United Way not only fights for everyone in our community to achieve their full potential, we're champions for working families. Whether it's using our prescription discounts to afford an expensive medication not covered by insurance, free tax preparation services that help families build savings, or free school readiness programs that help all children succeed in kindergarten regardless of their household income. We are committed to providing services that help all families achieve and maintain their financial stability.
To all of you that have contributed to United Way in the past, thank you very much for your trust in us. To all new United Way contributors this year, your support of United Way and our many affiliated agencies is appreciated and valued.
Hello, I'm Brian Kerr with Kerr Office Group, past board chair and currently on CIT. So if there's any CIT members out here, your matrix are due tomorrow. So make sure you have those in. Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." So here's just a few random thoughts I want you to think about individually and as agencies and kind of see how these may relate to you. The greatest cruelty is our casual blindness to the despair of others. If you live your life as if everything is about you, you will be left with just that, you. I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. Together we can do great things. Our job is not to judge. Our job is not to figure out if someone deserves something. Our job is to lift the fallen, to restore the broken, and to heal the hurting. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples, Mother Teresa. Be the one who points out what is going right and help out with what's going wrong. It's not how much we give, but how much we love to put into giving. And the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give that gift away. So what would our community look at like without United Way, without the individual volunteers and without the agencies that we have? It wouldn't be the same one that we live in today, would it? With all of those gone, it would not be the same community. It may be like the first random thought I read. The greatest cruelty is our casual blindness to the despair of others. Or, if you live your life as if everything is about you, you may be left with that, just you. But that's not what our community is about. We're celebrating 15 years of volunteering, advocacy, helping those who can't speak for themselves. We're doing that for them. And also 15 years of celebrating success. So today we're here to celebrate success. So I know when you were younger in kindergarten, you probably had nap time and you probably thought, now as an adult, I wish I had that nap time back or I wish I spent more time doing that. Well, today's not the time. Today we're celebrating the success of United Way and our agencies in our community. So when I get ready to read some data I put together, this is from 2016 and it's just 1 quarter of data. And you can see what big impact this 1 quarter had on our community. So I know you cheer for your sports teams and you yell for your kids when they're doing something special in some kind of event. So today's not the time to sit down and be quiet. We're celebrating, so you need to yell and cheer and have a good time. I don't want you firing your gun up in the air if you get excited, but besides that, everything else is okay to do. So if you hear some of these stats and it relates to your agency, I want to hear you clap and yell, and let's celebrate this. So here's just some examples. 401 children prepared for academic and social success in kindergarten in 2016, that 1 quarter. 198 children improved access to high-quality child development. 344 children were screened for developmental delays and could otherwise keep them from being prepared for success in school. 176 children benefited from a safe place to go after school, where they received help to do homework and engage in physical activities. 27 clients were placed in jobs. 110 elderly and disabled clients received in-home care. Now here's the big one, I think, and this is something to definitely celebrate. 16 abused and neglected children were permanently placed in safe homes. 390 clients received emergency financial assistance with rent and utilities were prevented from becoming homeless. 390 that were prevented being homeless in our communities. That is a large amount, folks. 198 children enrolled in Head Start and Early Head Start and had their hearing tested with a grant funding by United Way of Central Kentucky. One of 198 screened, 50 were referred to a doctor for a follow-up. 322 domestic violence victims were given legal advocacy to protect them from their abusers. 350,000 pounds of food were distributed to the United Way of Central Kentucky service area through hunger relief programs in local churches, nonprofits, and food pantries. 57,000 clients were served the United Way of Central Kentucky service area this quarter. Of those, 10,300 were veterans and 12,600 were seniors. And the grand total, 450,000 in one quarter, is the value of volunteer hours leveraged by United Way of Central Kentucky's funded partners during this time period. So I think all of you all deserve a hand for making that happen. So now we'd like to recognize some individuals. First, the board members. I remember when I first started working at First Citizens Bank when I was 17, 18, in 1998, I believe it was. I worked as a co-op student. And United Way was part of their culture and still is today. I was involved in the March of Dimes, Big Brother, Big Sister bowling. I led a junior achievement program at the bank, but I always looked at United Way's board and thought, that is something that I would like to be a part of one day. I admired the people that were on that because they were such strong community leaders. They gave their time, their resource, their talents to United Way in this community. They were kind of the who's who of our community, always volunteering, always helping out. And, I was hoping that I could be part of that and make a difference one day. So if you are a current member of the board of directors, will you please stand? Let's recognize them. Any past board members, please stand. Any past board members? Thank you. We couldn't run the organization without campaign volunteers. The money would not be raised without you guys. You are such an integral part of what we do. These individuals ran the region's largest volunteer-driven fundraiser effort that engages over 4,000 donors. In order to give corporate partners and volunteers additional public recognition for their contributions, we will be announcing the Hall of Fame inductees and announcing Live United and Give United, Nelson County and the Nelson Kelly Award recipients at the September Chamber Luncheon. So make sure you all come back for that so we can, you all can see them recognized. So if you're a campaign volunteer, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Agencies. You are the feet on the street for United Way. Without the agencies and the directors of the agencies and the volunteers of the agencies, our efforts would not be possible. I know you all spend countless time and hours, day and night, weekends, taking calls or helping people that are in need or helping enable people to do better. So would all the agency representatives please stand? And you may be on the board for an agency also. Thank you. And now last but not least, our volunteers. And this room is full of volunteers. That's why you all are here today, each one of you all, and we're here to thank you for what you do. Whether you're in the agency or whether you're a campaign volunteer, we have so many volunteers. Over 2,000 people gave their time in 2016, whether on the CIT, one of the United Way's vital committees, teaching financial education, preparing taxes, packing food bags during Give a Day for Hunger, or serving in a day of action. So will you please stand if you volunteered in some way or manner with United Way? Don't be shy. Thank you. So now we have a trivia question. Now I'm sure Megan probably has a prize if you can answer this. If not, she can find one real quick. Do you know what value to our community was for the Day of Action in 2016? What was the value to our community for Day of Action in 2016? It's a big number. I'll give you a hint. A very large number. Anyone? $4.7 million. So that was huge. So congratulations. Now I'd like to talk about one of our most prestigious awards, and that's the Nelson Kelly Volunteer of the Year Award. This is an award that's given out to someone that is a volunteer and goes above and beyond and is really dedicated to the service and the mission of United Way. On the video, Nelson was the very last person that you saw in the video speaking and did a lot for United Way. So this is the highest level of recognition awarded by the United Way of Central Kentucky, and it's named in honor of the late Nelson Kelly. Nelson was a champion for the United Way mission and served in a variety of roles within the organization, most notably as the interim director in 2010. Our recipient this year began service on the United Way board 10 years ago, completing one 6-year term and returning in 2015 to provide continued leadership. They served in nearly every role in the organization, including our strategic planning committee, community investment team, executive committee, board chair, and currently chairs our governance committee. This person took on the role of 2016 campaign chair and championed the missions of United Way in countless workplaces. Changes under his direction included implementing a 2020 vision plan, strengthening our internal operations, and regularly reporting program results back to our community. This person leads by example, encouraging his colleagues to support United Way, hosting a workplace campaign, and constantly pushing the organizations towards continuous improvement. We cannot ask for a better example of what it means to be an advocate, to give, and to volunteer than Trinity Searcy. Trinity, will you please come forward?
Thank you. Nelson Kelly, I guess you would say, is one of my heroes, he and his wife. Also, it's an honor to see Greg Polly and Brian Kerr up here. Both of these gentlemen have given so much to United Way and the community, and just appreciate them very much. So I think that's all I have to say. Also appreciate Megan and everything she's done. I think that Chris Wilborn brought United Way to a new level a few years ago, and Megan has just continued to build on that and bring it even to another level, and I know that the organization will just continue to grow. Thank you very much.
And one last one, thank you, Trinity. Without our staff, none of this could be done. They work so many long hours, more than they probably should most of the time. So appreciate each one of you all and what you do. So our staff, if you will please stand. Now, with the help of leaders like Trinity and each of you, United Way continues to change the odds by helping everyone in our community to achieve their fullest potential. And here is just one example of a lifelong impact your support has done on someone's future.
I knew something was wrong when I went into labor 11 weeks premature. Our son Ryan was born weighing 3 pounds, 1 ounce, and he spent 37 days in the hospital before coming home. The day we brought him home, I was finally able to put out of my mind all of the things that could be wrong. At that time, Ryan was believed to be normal, just small. He was so tiny that his hands were about the size of a quarter, and we had to buy Cabbage Patch doll clothes for him to wear. I took every precaution with him, yet when we took him for his 7-month checkup, the doctors told us that Ryan had cerebral palsy. I felt hurt, shocked, and angry. This couldn't be happening to us. We started therapy and early intervention at the Community Care Preschool shortly after his diagnosis. Since that time, Ryan has come a long way, and we are so proud of him. He's learned things that most parents take for granted, like rolling over, crawling, and feeding himself. We know that one day our son will walk. I want him to walk up to the couch one day and turn around and walk away. If anyone were to ask me what Ryan could accomplish, I would say anything, because he's already accomplished more than John and I ever thought possible. I mean, I believe in my heart that he'll do okay. And if you don't, that's okay too. I just want Ryan to be the best that he can possibly be for Ryan.
Well, that's what it's all about there. So we have our video star with us today. It's my privilege and honor, and help me welcome Ryan Skaggs and his mother Vicki to the stage.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
All I can say from looking at that is, wow. Ryan has accomplished more than just walking in his short life. And I've been a proud parent of sharing that with him. But what I would really like to say is today we've made full circle, Ryan and I have. Ryan's first steps were taken with a walker at a United Way chamber luncheon. He did that at the end of the campaign year. We've been working with him for a walker for stability. Wasn't sure he was going to quite make it up that little aisle that he was asked to do that day. But I look back and Ryan has given me so many walks in life and utter amazement at what people with disabilities can do, and just pure admiration for understanding that everyone needs help at some point in their life. I was an ordinary mother who got up and went to work every day, was expecting a perfect child, and however, that did not come to be. However, I got that perfect child, it just wasn't in the form that we're all used to seeing. I am extremely thankful to every volunteer, to every individual, to every person along the way who has made a difference in my life, my child's life, and gave us great encouragement for continuing and trying more. And today I'm grateful that Megan is friends with my son Ryan, and she asked us to be here with you and to be able to share that with you. There's so many United Way agencies we've used. We used Community Care Kids Preschool. Through them, we got in touch with VIPS. His physicians gave me a little agency in Louisville called United CP Kids Center, where we went to therapy. Ryan was a busy little guy until he was about 13 and he decided to balk me just a little bit. But he was busy 5 days a week doing something to make a difference in his life, and a lot of those were United Way agencies. Without their guidance, without their support, their help to encourage us as parents, I'm not sure that he would be where he's at today. We have had several surgeries along the way. We're still not using that wheelchair, but even if we did, it's okay that we have to do that. We've been truly blessed, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you my son, Ryan Skaggs.
If y'all will indulge me just a minute here. Thanks, Mom, for almost making me cry before I have to get up and talk. That's okay. First, I'd like to thank Megan and the staff of United Way for inviting me to be here with you all today. It's a great honor and privilege to be here, particularly when you think about 27 years ago, I was doing my first walk at one of these luncheons. Um, and if you'll indulge me another second here, I went to a college where it was all about food service. So the food was delicious, was it not? Give the catering staff a round of applause. As I sat down to write this speech, I began thinking about all the goals that I have accomplished in life and how none of it would have been possible without the assistance of United Way. One United Way program that stuck out for me was Visually Impaired Preschool, or VIPS. I did not remember all of the agencies that United Way helped that I was involved with. Mom remembers more of that than I do, considering I was about this big. The VIPS program teaches children who have problems with their vision strategies to flourish in a school environment. Without VIPS, I would not have been able to go into and I hate to use this word, a normal school environment at all. I have made it through 12 years of school, spent 6 years in college studying several different disciplines, criminal justice, business, and mortuary science. I'm never satisfied. I study everything all the time. And I am able to live and I have lived independently for the last 5 years and served my community as a volunteer firefighter. United Way also opened the door for what I'm doing here today. Through the Poster Child program, indirectly I became an advocate for those with disabilities. Of course, when I ended my tenure as poster child, I stopped advocating because I had things that I had to handle. But back in 2009, I started becoming an advocate again as a motivational speaker. None of the things that I have done since 2009 would have been possible without United Way. I cannot begin to imagine the number of people who have been helped either directly or indirectly by programs under the United Way umbrella. When I started, it was Metro United Way. And the many goals that you have had a part in helping people achieve. I stand here as one person who was helped, giving you a resounding thank you from all of the people who you've helped. From all of the people you've helped, have been helped, or are currently helping, or will be helped, on behalf of them all, thank you. To the full-time staff of United Way, your vision is what is going to bring United Way into the next 15 years and beyond. As a volunteer, to the volunteers, I have a special message for you, volunteers, campaign chairs. As a volunteer myself, I can tell you that everything you do matters. Every minute you spend away from your family is very much appreciated. Every ounce of your time, every ounce of your talent and skill that you use assisting the United Way in achieving its mission is very much appreciated, and it makes it possible for people like me to achieve our dreams. In closing, I would like to say that it has been a great honor and privilege to speak here today. And to inspire the United Way team to keep up the great work you're doing by helping so many people achieve their dreams. I want to congratulate United Way of Central Kentucky on 15 years, and I hope for so much more than 15 more years. Thank you all.
That is a tough act to follow. I think on our slide we showed in the last 15 years we've invested over $10 million, is that correct, into agencies? And if Ryan was the only success story that came from that, I think that's well worth that $10 million investment. Truly incredible. So you guys have seen some great things that have happened over the last 15 years, and I have the exciting job of telling you what's to come. So many great things are still to come. Before I do that, I want to share a little bit about why I joined the United Way team a few years ago. I remember having early conversations with Megan and Chris at several lunches. They were unknowingly recruiting me. Later I figured that out. But when they shared with me the vision that they had for United Way and the community, I knew I needed to be a part of that. And here's why. Early in my adult life, I made some questionable choices. My dad would say bad choices, and I would agree with that. By the age of 20, I was divorced. By the age of 22, I was a single mom. And while my son is by far one of my biggest blessings, and the best thing that's probably ever happened in my life, being a single parent financially was not a good choice. From the ages of 18 to 24, I had moved probably 10 times, was bouncing from job to job, trying to raise my son and just figure life out. And every time I thought I had it figured out, life would happen and I'd find myself knocking on my parents' front door saying, "We need a place to live." So much had happened to when I remarried a few years ago. My dad jokingly said, at least I think he was joking, that me getting married was probably the best day of his life because I was somebody else's problem. And I know he meant that in a loving way because he never gave up on me. My parents never gave up on me. My family never gave up on me, even when I probably deserved it. And because of that, that's why I am where I am today. Working full time, a college graduate of 2 degrees, a mother of 2, happily married and living a great life. But no matter how hard I worked, no matter how many great decisions I was making, it seemed that something always happened to kind of knock me off my feet. A cancer diagnosis at the age of 26 was one of those. But again, because of that support system, it was all right. But even above that, I relied on community services as well. Whenever Talon was a baby, I couldn't afford daycare, so I was eligible for child care assistance. And because of that, I was able to work and go to school. But on top of that, I was able to send him to a good quality child care, fully prepared him for school. And actually had Katie put that picture up there for me. His dad sent me that picture on Monday. It's hard to see, but he's holding up a piece of paper that says he's going to receive an award next Tuesday for scoring so well on his K-Prep test last year. And I cried when he sent that to me. Not just as a proud mom, because that kid, he has no clue. He has no clue how fortunate he is, because odds were not in his favor. Being raised in a single-family home, under the poverty guidelines, moving as much as he did, he shouldn't be doing well at school. He should be struggling. But he's not. He's smart, he's funny, he's fun, he's so active, keeps me so busy, and he's going to do great things in life. And I like to take credit for most of that, but I know it's not just me. It was that support system. It was those services provided to me that were always there for me, even when I probably didn't deserve it. Talon right there, he's beating the odds, and that's exactly the future of United Way. While providing food and shelter to people is so important, that's not going to make their issues go away. They need so much more. If I was just provided child care assistance and that alone, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. I needed more than that. I needed guidance. I needed someone constantly pointing me in the right direction, helping me find that good job that was going to work well for me and my family. We are wanting to provide that same approach to families in the community because we truly feel it'll work. It worked for me. And above that, this begins with providing a single point of entry for people to use nonprofit services as a one-stop shop. But even above that, providing a coach, a career coach, keeping people on track once they get a job to help them keep that job. And this also means we have to address the barriers of the whole person, whether they need access to transportation, child care, health care, whatever it is, addressing all those needs so they can work and keep that job. When we do all those things, I am proof that it works and people can be successful. And it just doesn't help that person, it helps their kids and their kids' kids. And because of that, when you give to United Way, you're no longer giving a donation, you're truly giving an investment that's impacting our community. So it's an exciting day for our community. We've seen so many great things happen over the last 15 years, and I have no doubts that so many more great things are to come, so many more great success stories are to come, like Ryan, like myself, and like I know so many of you who have been impacted by United Way. So I think that about wraps up what we have today. I don't know if Megan wanted any closing thoughts. I know, I'm putting her on the spot. But I, again, want to thank you guys for what you do for our community, what you do for United Way. All that we have shared today could not be possible without each of you and your support. So hopefully you guys in the next 15 years beyond will continue to support us and help us to do great things in the community.
Thank you, Dana. I really was not planning to say anything today, but I could not let the chance to just say how proud I am of everybody in this room, of Ryan and his family and Dana, and I just don't know what to say, because really it is humbling to see the kind of power and bravery that is in this room. So all I'm here to say is, again, thank you. It will be another amazing and impactful 15 years to come, and then some. So thank you for sharing part of your day with us, and we look forward to continuing to work with and support you.
Last but not least, you probably noticed we didn't give out as many awards as we normally do. We want to save a few of those for our big chamber kickoff that we have in September, so stay tuned for that. However, we do have company awards on the table we want you to pick up before you go. But you'll probably remember you have a ticket. There was a reason why we gave you that. I almost forgot. We have 3 giveaways, which is exciting because normally we don't have giveaways. Normally we just give you paper with information. So today you actually get stuff. So get your tickets ready. Get stuff. The last 3 digits are 463. 463.
Well, happy anniversary.
Well, it wasn't rigged, I promise. Got 2 more. Thank you, Vanna. 476. Wow.
Right, front row. They won't come apart.
548. All right. Wow. This is probably the first time in history we've ended early. Don't expect that every year. We must have forgot something. Thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your week.